Boom. Start. We're rolling. 7:01. We're always late, us. All right. What's this? What's this? We got. Oh, okay. That's chat. Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, Angela. We're live. How are you?
I'm good. How are
Welcome
you?
to Too Real. I hope tonight is going to be a great night for you. Very glad to have you here. A Guilty Angel is giving us a whole bunch of waving hands that are red or pink or something, and they're very lovely.
Who's this character?
I don't know. I've never met him before. He's a brand new dude, but I like him. I think he's rather safe.
I really like how you do that with your voice. It's like very announcer guy voice, and I really feel like you missed your calling doing voice acting.
Guilty Angel's having a blizzast in Houston, Texas.
Oh,
Very
sweet.
big city. Have you ever been?
Never.
Never. I've never been either, but it's a very big city, and I only know this because I was working in Philadelphia. And it dethroned us as the 5th largest market in the United States. And I was like, what? Houston? I had no idea. It's fucking massive. And apparently blast having.
It's also like really sprawling too, right? Isn't Houston like just a huge...
I don't know. Tell us, Guilty Angel. Is it a
kind of like Los Angeles is like just wide.
It just never ends. Did you attempt to suffer through any more too much episodes? Oh, Cosmic Urgency asks if we have gotten back to the no, we haven't gotten back to.
No, we got.
We're gonna though. I think
we got distracted by Danny McBride.
The plan's to go back, right?
Yes, but
we're gonna go back.
But we're kind of binging Danny McBride shows because he got snubbed so hard.
So he got snubbed. We felt the snub. We were like, "Did you feel that?" Yeah, man, I fucking felt that. So we are 2 episodes away from finishing Vice Principals, which I loved.
It's amazing.
I loved it.
I know.
I think that he is a very underrated.
I'm learning
dude.
that he doesn't miss. That for like a decade he has created wall-to-wall bangers.
And I'm not gonna sugarcoat the end of season, the end of the Righteous Gemstones. It like wasn't the strongest ending to a series I've ever seen.
People should be prepared for a really, really weird, kind of not good season 4 until the finale. The finale makes up
Just
for it.
not the best of the best by any means.
Season 4, I was just like, what is happening? Did they run out of ideas? I don't know.
But I do plan to return to the Lena Dunham show for sure. I'm going to go back to it. I even if it's absolute shite. Bobo is back.
Sweet.
It's so good to see you. I am Bobo. It's really nice to have you here. And Delicate is here. I'm so good to see you. It's so glad to see you. I'm so glad to see you. Fuck, I can't. What is going on? I'm already like.
You had a long day.
Hey, you know what I had to do is I had to take my 2017 Kia Sorento, which even though one day I will put this thing up for sale, I want you to know now it's a piece of shit. I'll sell it as a piece of shit. Don't you think it's a piece of shit? I mean, it's a good car. It's a good car.
Listen, I'm really superstitious about cars.
Yeah.
I come from the generation of people who like, I don't know if it's a generational thing, but it seems like recently people aren't getting like, they're being gifted or somehow they get really expensive cars. And everybody that I knew when I was growing up always got like the worst like beater cars.
Yeah, I did. I had a Pinto. I had a Ford Pinto.
What you would do is
I paid $75 for, and I literally painted on it Dale's car with a spray paint.
I know. This is what they do.
And it was my car, and everybody
knew it. All of the friends that I knew that got cars as teenagers, they had like, the car had like, it was like a Frankenstein car with like different colored panels all over it, and it like really rattled when it was driving around. And they always named it. They always named the car. But one thing that it just stuck with me is that you're always supposed to like thank and bless and be grateful for your car. Your car has a name. It deserves respect. You're always like, thank you for taking me to where I belong. And I don't feel like that's like super woo-woo witchy shit. It's just like, you don't have any other options. So you're walking to your like burger flipping job if your car doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you're grateful for your car working. I feel like it's a little bit risky when you say you hate your car.
I don't hate my car.
I feel like the
I don't hate
transportation gods hear it and they're like, okay, bro, what if it just broke? Then maybe you would appreciate it more. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like you're not supposed to.
Guess who's not going to see Lady Gaga tonight?
I can't guess.
You?
Me.
You're not going to see her?
No, I'm not going to go see Lady Gaga tonight.
I'm not going to see Lady Gaga tonight. But Delicate will be seeing Lady Gaga tonight. I'm jealous.
Oh, she's going to rock your face off, bro.
Yeah. I wish I could see Lady Gaga tonight. I'm not even kidding. I wish I could. I'd be all masked.
You know how like there's these like there's this religious kind of sect in the United States that's still doing Satanic Panic?
Is that true? I don't even know what that is, but I believe you.
You don't remember in like the 80s and 90s there was like satanic panic was a big thing?
I was in Canada. I don't think we had that.
They had all these stories where they thought that teenagers were like doing sacrificial
of
ceremonies
course.
in the
Judas
woods.
Priest
Yes.
literally had, they had one of their fans unalive himself, and they have a song called "Beyond the Realms of Death," and
he was listening to it.
They charged Judas Priest with a crime.
What?
Yeah.
For what?
It was like some kind of wrongful death. Oh, maybe it was a civil. Was it civil? I can't remember.
But how are they?
It had to be civil because they took the stand.
What?
Yeah, the band took the stand.
I can't believe they
literally on stand. They were like, "Why would we kill our fans?" It is literally how we make a living. Like, because there was this whole backwards message thing. So I do remember this because there was actually, Ozzy Osbourne, God rest his soul, was at the fucking center of it because of all of the biting the head off the doves. And I want to get into a little bit of the controversial lifestyle.
Okay, well, the reason I was bringing it up,
Ozzy Osbourne,
was that those people have said that Lady Gaga is doing like Satan worship, witchcraft type shit with her.
Well, of course they fucking are.
With her new song Abracadabra, because her lyrics, and also Abracadabra is a spell. Did you know this?
Abracadabra.
Did you know that Abracadabra?
It's gonna come back and grab it. Yeah,
it means as I speak, so be it.
Yes, abracadabra. It used to be, when we were kids, it was like there were whatever witches.
Yes, I know, but did you know its origins is as I speak, so be it. That's like a spell.
Oh, I like it.
And so when she is having everybody sing,
now I'm gonna get the tattoo.
So people are saying that she's having these arenas full of people going on tour, and she's having arenas full of people chanting, right? Not singing, but chanting abracadabra, that she's doing like spell worship or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, awesome. That's so awesome. Like, bring that back to music. I feel like music has been so like commercialized. Like, let's bring back the spooky, like, conspiracy theories. And
Delicate says, I have a 2005 Honda that is salvage title that has 185,000 miles on it, and it's dented, paint faded.
Does it have a name?
A radio and window turns on by itself, and it's a mess. It's a stick shift too.
That's the way it should be.
It's an anti-theft car. I love all that.
It's an anti-theft car. This is it.
It's an anti-theft car.
You know what? Because cars like that, they're all yours.
Okay, so let me tell you.
Nobody wants them. They're all yours. You get to. That's your car. That's your beloved vehicle.
I want
to know Delicate's car's name because I know it has one.
I was just going to tell the story because, in the book, I get into Jeremy's car. He's got this like a road, this 4Runner that's all beaten up and used to be white, right? And then so Jeremy leaves. This isn't in the book. Jeremy leaves town, and he lends me the car. He's like, I'm leaving town. I think he went and did White Squall, or like it was like a long shoot he was going on, and he was like, I'm going to be gone for like 2 months, 3 months, whatever it was. He's like, you can use my car. I was like, oh, dude. And he was like, just always remember. And his car's a beater, dude.
Always remember what?
Put the club on it.
The club.
Yeah, the club.
Do they still do those? The club.
So I said, Jeremy, I don't know. I said, Jeremy, yeah, man, no problem. And I fucking didn't do it, and his car got stolen. His car got stolen.
His beater?
His beater car got stolen. He was so mad, and I was like,
God.
First of all, it was insured. Secondly, it was just such a piece of trash. I mean, it was such a bad car.
Oh, I know, but nobody wants their car to
Well,
be gone.
I know, but to get like mad about it, he was mad at me.
Yeah, of course he was mad at you.
And he was like, I was like, I put it on. He's like, did you lock it? I was like, I think I locked it. He was like, you didn't lock it. And I was like, well,
Okay, but you can't deflect the blame for that.
Jeremy's a bad person.
But that's on you, Dale.
Jeremy's a bad
you have
person.
To admit.
Jeremy's sister's a bad person.
You were told to do a thing that would prevent the thing that happened. You didn't do the thing right, and so it happened.
Maybe that's why we probably don't talk because that he probably sits back and thinks about the fucking 4Runner.
Yeah, and that you argued with him about it.
I didn't argue with him. I didn't argue. What do you mean? I argued with him? What do you mean I argued with him? I was incredibly apologetic. I would argue with him. I was definitely like, why the fuck do you care about this car so much?
Oh, yeah. Well, I wouldn't
It wasn't
hear
a
that.
baby.
I wouldn't hear that from the guy
He didn't have it. He didn't name it.
I wouldn't want to hear that from a guy who who avoided doing the thing that would have kept it from getting stolen. I wouldn't want to hear about how it was worthless anyway. For sure.
All right, fine. I'm a guilty asshole. I don't even belong on this live. I hate me.
Hate me. And everyone else does too.
You're almost right about that. Ozzy Osbourne is gone. He's gone. I've told you this. I believe. I love this as a sentiment. He's gone to Planet Music. Mm-hmm. If you didn't see the thumbnail, I brought him and Randy together.
Oh, nice.
They're together again, Randy Rhoads.
Yeah.
If you don't know who Randy Rhoads is, Randy Rhoads was a guitarist that he hooked up with to do the album Blizzard of Oz, which was sort of a seminal record for him, and certainly his seminal solo record, and it showed off one of the greatest heavy metal guitarists to ever, flick the frets, Randy Rhoads.
Can I ask you, do you think that Wizard of Oz was like copywritten? Like copy
Well, he was definitely talking about, Blizzard of Oz. Yeah. He was into this. And the funny thing about that is, in the 1900s, I went to a drum clinic in Winnipeg to see Tommy Aldridge. Tommy Aldridge drummed on Ozzy Osbourne's Bark at the Moon album and Blizzard of Oz. So he's a legendary dude, and he did a drum clinic in Winnipeg, and I was like, I'm there. I wasn't even a drummer. I did a little drumming, but like would never call myself a drummer. Would not today call myself a drummer. And even though I can like a little, Anywho, this guy in the stories, bro, about Ozzy, he was like, man, he said like the guy was just the amount of blow was just, it was just inhuman. It was like he'd come in one day and he'd speed the whole fucking day up, and then he'd come back the next day and they'd have to lay all the tracks down again because he would say it was too fast. What? And then it's just like back and forth. He said some kind of outrageous number. The number that strikes me is like into like 100 and something takes on No More Tears, because it's like a ballad, and he would like come in and he would just speed up the ballad, and he was like, and then he'd come in, that's fucking awful, mate, and then he'd be like, let's slow down, mate, slow down, and then like fucking speed it up, and he was like, he quit the band because of it. Tommy Aldridge quit the band. He was like, I couldn't take it. He was like, no more Ozzy for me.
I heard that Stanley,
not to speak ill of the dead.
I heard that Stanley Kubrick was like that. He just did like way too many takes, and there was an actor that quit.
Yeah,
they quit in the middle.
Yeah, because when it's there, when an actor knows that they gave it, it's over.
Yeah,
you have to know as a director. This is where I'd be at odds with Stanley Kubrick, as great as he was. I would be at odds with him about it, because I'd be like, yo, I don't give a fuck what you say. They know when they gave it. They know when they gave it.
You're just abusing your crew too.
And if you don't know when they gave it, then you're the one missing here.
That's right.
You're the one missing out. If you didn't see that was it. I remember we went over this over and over again with Artie. Artie would always look at me, and I tried to like work it into the into the book, but it just didn't flow properly. And I was also like very cautious about any kind of self-aggrandizing.
Oh, like it sounds really self-congratulatory if you're like, he would look to me for
exactly
to tell whether he was doing a good job because I'm the
and it's true that he did, and that was the relationship we had. But I didn't want to like, I didn't want to do that at his expense. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, just a little love for the man and his death.
I got you that shirt.
You sure did.
That was one of the first.
I love it too.
Like, this is my boyfriend and I will dress him type experiences.
So my regret with not seeing Ozzy Osbourne, is one I will have to die with. But like, I kind of knew that I was going to be that way, even years ago, because I had seen him do something like an Ozfest. And he was so terrible that I just decided that I didn't want to subject myself to it.
How weird, though, that they did the farewell, what was it, festival?
Yeah.
Like just 2 weeks ago.
I feel like, and this is like, I feel like for him, so there was this interview with Ozzy Osbourne that I was incredibly moved by. And it was during the height, I would say, or near around the height of the Osbournes, the reality show.
Oh, yeah.
And he got so frustrated in the interview.
Yeah.
And in the interview, he was like, I'm not a fucking TV star, mate. I'm a fucking rock star. I'm a fucking rock star. And he was just screaming that he wanted to like be on the stage. I should be on fucking tour, mate. I'm fucking hanging out with you guys. I'm doing a really bad Aussie, but you follow me? Like it was really emotional and beautiful.
I felt that way about that show too.
And it was like he was still like dealing with all of his like neurological disorders and things at the time, so he wasn't as animated as I. It
was really like exploitative, and also like like how like way to diminish like a legend.
But where I was
like
going
putting
was
him
that,
on a fucking reality TV show. Like,
yeah, well, whatever about that, but that's not where I'm going. Because where I'm going is that like that rock and roll, like being on a stage and being a rock star, was everything, and he went and played what was billed as his final show. And I really, truly believe that he had nothing left to live for. All he lived for was rock and roll. And I really, truly believe this about Ozzy Osbourne. I know that he was a controversial figure, and I know that there's going to be stories that are going to come out with him about him, stories that were already known, but that are going to resurface now that he's dead, because people are going to want to remind people of how much of an animal this man could be at times in his life. And he did some horrible things. He literally bit the dove's head off in a goddamn meeting with record executives. That really actually happened.
I don't understand. Why did he have a dove?
It was like something about as I recall, and I could have this wrong, but I'm going to do my best. If my memory serves, they brought the dove because they were trying to like get this attention and create this image around it or whatever. And it was, I don't know if it was his idea or somebody else's idea.
It's like a photo shoot or something?
His idea.
It must have been a photo shoot because they have a
Maybe
photo of
a
him.
photo shoot or something. Yeah. But anyway, he bit the fucking head. Yeah. So I don't know the whole story. God damn it. But he did. Here's what I do know. I do know that he bit the head off of a bird and he spat it out.
Yeah. Fucking lunatic.
And that's pretty fucking crazy.
I know.
We heard just now that a documentary is coming out, which he and Sharon participated in. And in that documentary, she describes how he literally tried to end her life by strangulation. That he did it in a moment of psychosis that was similar to when I was describing that moment with Lillian when she tilted her head at me and asked me if I was the devil, where there was a total separation from reality. And he spoke about like him as if he were like speaking with the gods, if you will.
Yeah, he was like, we have decided
that it's time for you to go. And
wow,
so and then he
bro.
actually like ended up, so these things are going to come up, and and anything that he's due, he should be due. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it is, right?
Yeah, I definitely do not subscribe to the whole like, oh, don't speak ill of the dead.
Yeah, yeah. He did what he did,
Like, who's that? Who does that help? Like,
right, exactly. Like, yeah, exactly. No, I know this is like it was like that with Kobe Bryant, like I ran into that a lot with Kobe Bryant, because I'm not a fan of Kobe Bryant, because I believe Kobe Bryant literally, physically, and I don't know how, add adjective, he S.A.'d a woman, he raped a woman. I believe that. I believe her, and I believe him because he admitted to it. So I'm not a fan of that guy. I believe that if you're capable of that, you're just not, I don't want to play on that side of the field ever. Not even in my consideration of you. Do you know what I mean? That's just like a level of low that I cannot live. I cannot abide. Right?
Yeah.
So, anyway, things are going to come out about this guy, but he made this indelible mark, not just on the music, but really on the world. And for whatever it's worth, and, and whether it's helpful or not to, society or to him or to his reputation or whatever it might be, the guy came around pretty well.
I saw this tweet was somebody retweeted the news from Variety about Ozzy Osbourne passing away, and he said, "This is at Krang T Nelson." That's a really funny username. I don't think people realize how many of our culture's foundational artists will leave us in the coming years.
Yeah, it's starting
really
to
sad.
disturb me. It's really it's getting real heavy.
It's really sad, and there isn't really anyone on the bench to take up that mantle.
Not
irreplaceable
really.
in the deepest sense.
It's just the wildest thing. We're losing like the Mozarts and the Beethovens and the Bach and all the greats are where they're going to start. I mean, we've lost already so many. Like when we lost John Prine and when we lost Leonard Cohen, and obviously all the other legends that we know that.
Prince should have been around a lot longer.
Prince is a great example, actually. He's a wonderful example. But we're also talking about Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, and we're talking about, love him or hate him, Eric Clapton. And, we just recently lost, what's his face, right? Mayer, right?
Who?
John Mayer. Didn't he just recently die?
John Mayall?
Or Mayall, my bad.
John Mayer is alive and well.
John Mayer is alive and well, my bad.
He's probably out there playing guitar.
I'm starting rumors.
I know. Somebody in the chat was just devastated.
Just did not.
Yeah, John Mayall. He is a really big deal. We have a bunch of records of his. I recommend listening to him. I had never heard of him before I got a Mayall and Clapton record, and then I collected everything that John Mayall did.
Can I just interject with a shout out from Glasgow?
Yes.
Your book was awesome, dude.
Sweet.
Shout out from Glasgow. This is coming from Chubber Lang.
Sweet.
Or is it Clubberlang? Sorry, because my eyes, bro. I got a 50-year-old eyes. Thank you for reading, man. I really appreciate you and for coming by and saying such nice things, dude. Because I can't even begin to tell you what that means to me. It's my everything. Thank you for being here today. I really do appreciate you, and please come back if you enjoy yourself, especially. But even if you don't, please come back. Torture yourself with us. Where were we after that wonderful little interjection?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose we could switch topics. I have one.
Rest in peace, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. Really, like he was just such a big part of my youth.
Yeah.
He like, I told the story. I won't retell it, but I was trapped in that bedroom and I listened to Paranoid with my buddy, and I don't know, I was 13 or 14 years old and smoking grass for the first time, and it was like almost a spiritual experience what Ozzy did to me that day. I thought I'm a kid, I'm at that age where music, especially if you're somebody who has interest in that, it just you get everything blows your mind. It's like I can't listen to Pink Floyd The Wall now, but when I was when I was 15 years old, you couldn't pry it out of my hands unless you were putting it on the record player.
Which one is it Paranoid that starts out with the thunderstorm? Which album starts out with the thunderstorm?
No, that's Black Sabbath. I think.
Okay, great. So,
that's my favorite record.
Yeah, that's my favorite too, and I just think it's really funny.
It's their first record, and their Paranoid came just months later.
Oh, I see. Okay, I get those confused. So, so that record, Black Sabbath's self-titled record, I used to play that at the coffee shop on opening shifts.
Yeah.
So like 6:30 in the morning, people would roll in and like hear Black Sabbath, and it's surprisingly really great morning music. So
dude.
I just want to recommend that to people. Like if you ever just want to start your day with like something different,
some Sabbath.
That record is really, really great.
It's my go-to Sunday music. I'm not even trying to be controversial. Iron Man's about Jesus. Fact.
Is it really?
It absolutely is.
So it's like a gospel record?
Iron Man, that song is about Jesus Christ.
Really
the lyrics, obviously. And I know this because Bill Ward wrote them, and he has a memoir out that I haven't yet read, but I intend to. Cool. And he's a wonderful writer. He's like one of the great lyricists of all time. When he goes, it'll be another great morning for me. Like I'll feel Bill Ward even more than Ozzy Osbourne because it's Bill Ward's words that have always stayed with me. So I just love him so much, and I love Black Sabbath so much.
What is your favorite Black Sabbath song?
I don't even know where to begin.
Okay, I do.
I also not sure I remember all their names.
I really like Snowblind on this record that you're wearing, Volume 4.
We got that special edition box set with the live.
Yeah, that was kind of a waste.
Fuck you, was. I got everything I need.
It's like 4 albums that are just the same record played at different venues.
It's got that whole 1970 live concert that's completely like brand new.
I'm glad you like it.
On vinyl.
Okay, so I really like Snowblind.
You can never satisfy a woman.
And also,
getting into the female gaze.
War Pigs is probably one of the best metal songs ever written.
It's one of the most. It's like one of the most. It's probably the best like political war machine political.
That one and I can't remember the title of the one that Bob Dylan did. That was I can hum it. You something of war. What does he do? Bob Dylan's shit.
I don't remember.
I can't remember. I'm gonna look this up.
John Mayer groomed Taylor Swift. That's horrible. Fucking dudes are awful. We're gonna get into dudes being awful.
You Masters of War. That's what I was thinking. So War Pigs and You Masters of War are like sister songs. So great, the best.
See, Tanner's favorite song is Crazy Train, which comes off Blizzard of Oz.
Oh yeah.
And which is Randy Rhoads. It was Ozzy Osbourne was devastated by Randy Rhoads' death from helicopter and or plane, whichever one. But
I didn't know that.
Death by flying machine.
Bummer.
And he felt like Randy Rhoads was his revival, but also like they had a deep, creative connection. Anyway, they're hanging out together in Planet Music right now. And they're playing Crazy Train again for the first time since 19 whatever. If Randy Rhoads had survived, I would have probably gone to see Ozzy Osbourne. Because I was nuts for that guy and his guitar. So, R.I.P., dude. And yeah, as the stories come in, just, you can separate the art and the man. They can both exist. And I'll always love the art, even if the man has disappointed me in the past or in what I might learn in the future. I always get worried about it because it's like, my heroes fall and then I just wait. Like, like somebody tried to get on Leonard Cohen with some shit about him grooming girls, young women. And it fell apart real quickly. Like there's like no supporting evidence of it all. It was just, and it's just what I mean. Like like it turned my stomach so bad because how I feel about Leonard Cohen. I mean, Leonard Cohen is
Beloved.
Like if I lost him to controversy, I would get over it because I would hate the crime way more. Do you know what I mean? Than I could love the man. But it would be a devastating blow to me as a fan. And as somebody who has been so deeply inspired by him. I mean, this guy, he taught me the fundamentals of what I believe is a beautiful scene versus a good scene. Like he knows how to write a beautiful, he does it for music and I try to do it for book or for screen. But, he's the one who taught me to want it to be something like his, and I never could reach his level, but I don't think in my lifetime, but man, that guy, he took me some places.
Vicious Vixen is with us on TikTok. Said I had tickets for Ozzy and Randy Rhoads died before the concert.
Oh my God. I like, this is me with Nirvana, but oh my God, I can't even, that would be like, that to me is like missing Bitcoin at $9,000.
What? That's not anything like it.
It's just like missing Bitcoin at $9,000. If you get to see Randy Rhoads with Ozzy Osbourne and then he's Randy Rhoads taken from us and you have that memory for the rest of your life, forget about it. It's like seeing Bon Scott in AC/DC. Like if you got to see Bon Scott with AC/DC, if you got to see the purest form of AC/DC, young, hard, rockin' Australian drunks, awesome. Couldn't be better. Mm-hmm. And that guy, dude, you want to talk about grooming? Like, we're going to get into this female gaze thing because Angela, thank you for this video.
I'm just trying to educate myself because I feel like oh man.
Well, let me clue everybody in. There's a video. The link is in the description for this live right now if you want to check it out. There's a video by a person called Joey Soloway. Is that correct? And Joey Soloway is a non-binary filmmaker,
formerly known as Jill Soloway.
And she was a bit more famous. Yeah, Jill Soloway was famous. She had a like a queer show on Amazon and was like, I guess, kind of, sort of.
I think maybe the beginning of their career was writing 6 Feet Under. But then also
so she knows Sisto.
Transparent was a recent show.
Transparent, exactly. So she's got her own like legend, really, and whatever. She's very impressive. And then Angela was like, we've all heard Justin Baldoni talk about how he wanted It Ends With Us to come through the female gaze.
Yes, the reason why I went looking for this, okay, because I think that this is good context. So when Justin Baldoni said, he wrote in his book that he's a feminist because feminism is, and he quoted somebody saying this, that feminism is the revolutionary idea that that women are human beings. Okay? But it's very, just like anybody who is trying to quickly become an expert at something that they haven't really thoroughly studied, it's super easy. And I've probably been guilty of this too, but he misquoted the person. The person who he quoted was actually quoting someone else and wrote it in an article that is easily found online. So that's probably why he thought that it came from that person. But also initially just saying that was a joke. So he seems to have taken literally, he's not really presenting it as a joke. He's just like, yes, it's obvious why I'm a feminist because women are human beings. But that's so many rungs below any of the level that we're supposed to be discussing these things. Yeah, well. And I think that maybe he may have missed that point. So when he talks about how he wanted It Ends With Us to be a film told, like, presented through the female gaze. I was like, does he know what that is? I'm curious about whether he knows what that is when he talks about it.
Do we even know what it is?
And I do not know what it is.
Right.
So I knew that female gaze and male gaze is something. It's a term in media criticism. So I never really thought that it's something that you would aspire to. It's simply just an observation of a finished work. I wasn't really sure whether you could have that as like a goal where you're making a piece of media and you want it to be this one thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure.
Yeah.
So I didn't really find the answers from this video, but I did find a lot of context that I thought was interesting.
So thank you for the video. And the reason I'm thanking you for the video is because the video was really great. This person understands on the deepest level the struggle between the male gaze. And so what's cool about the video, I'll give you like whatever I can in terms of insight from my only one watching it, but I'm gonna watch this video again and again because I felt like it was deeply educational. And but female gaze wasn't a thing that anyone really even spoke about. But it was a question that really came up from them because they had seen or they'd become aware of the male gaze, and they explain that in the talk, like where the male gaze comes from, and sort of where it originated. I think it was in an article or an essay.
That's like I said, it's a term of media criticism that people have been criticizing, like action movies and like James Bond movies for like decades and decades.
Yeah.
So that's something where they're like, yeah, well, story is definitely told from the male gaze. I really like the example that they use in their.
I just said, thanks, somebody. Keep going.
Okay. You pointed and then you did this, and I was like, what's on my face? Oh my God.
It's a booger.
The example being like a woman walks into the frame, and the primary thing that's being featured in the camera framing is their tits. And then then it pans to cocktails.
Right.
And then the woman walks her tits like through the room with the cocktails and sets it on the table.
You might even get a shot of her ass.
Yes. And then sets it on the table. And that's where the scene where the two men at the table begin.
Right.
Like, and I know that like when they described that, I was like, oh, I know exactly that kind of setup.
Yes.
Like I've seen that a gazillion times.
Right. So the male gaze being the world through the man's eyes ostensibly, but as told it's basically the protagonist. The idea of the protagonist, the male protagonist, is more or less the male gaze in terms of like just in terms of the most general sense of it, and of course that and particular to cis males and their obsession with not just the objectification of women, but also the suppression of them, really, right?
Yeah, or just the minimizing of
them. And the minimizing of them, which I really equate to suppression.
I also thought it was really interesting that it's very much like how like yin and yang is often described as masculine and feminine.
Right.
But it's just like
but
opposites.
It's not, yeah. Like
one is outputting and one is inputting. Like one is receptive and the other one is like, what's the opposite? It's just like seems like the female gaze seems to be the type of media where you're being invited to feel what the protagonist feels as opposed to just experiencing what the protagonist experiences.
Yeah, exactly. So
seeing what they see and seeing what they're doing.
Right, as these distinctly feminine qualities, I guess you could say.
It's like hard to navigate because I'm not really sure I exactly know. But one thing that I felt like may be tricky in Baldoni's case with It Ends With Us is that he made a film where maybe you don't know in the beginning, but ultimately you find out, right, through the story, and it's a pretty big part of the story, that the female protagonist gets beaten up.
Yeah.
And I don't know that necessarily qualifies as like the female gaze type of media.
Well, I think that, as I sort of gleaned it, really the female gaze, when you think about it, when you watch this video, if you go through this whole video and you hear about the female gaze, and then you think about Justin Baldoni and him constantly repeating it as something that he wanted to achieve as a part of his goal. Yeah. Well, the female gaze is not limited to just what's being shot. It's the female gaze is really about the whole institution. It's not just about, and this is the thing that was so fascinating about the talk, because you can get into the so-called female, because the way he makes it sound as if it has something to do with like the point of view or like the perspective of things, right? Even if it's more of a, an omniscient third person kind of, but that would be the female gaze third person, whatever, which is nonsense. It's got nothing to do with that. The part that ends up on film is a single part of the female gaze. And really what ends up on film or in the storytelling itself in general is the result of or inspired by the institution itself being female gaze. So where female gaze flounders is, and it's not that, and they pointed this out in the talk, is it's not that men are incapable of female gaze, and they even pointed out Kenneth Lonergan's Margaret as a great example.
It's a great example
of a man directing and writing the female gaze, and I couldn't agree more. And it's true for all three of his movies, really, because I think all of his women are drawn absolutely perfectly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just feel like the confusion lies in which he
but it's the institution, right? So Kenny Lonergan is the institution of his work. He's the writer, he's the director, he is the everything. So the institution itself has that gaze. So the thing about Justin Baldoni that's really frustrating about his so-called female gaze isn't just that he directed the movie. He shouldn't have, in my opinion. Absolutely shouldn't have, if he was true to his so-called goal of preserving, or not preserving, but invoking the female gaze through this work. He should have known he wasn't qualified. He should have known immediately that he fucking wasn't qualified by his own words, by the words that he spouted out in his TED Talk, by the words that he spouted out in his book, by the words that he put out in his podcast, Man Enough, about the entirely undeveloped level of feminism that he was in terms of the state of feminism that he was in, that he still had all this toxic masculinity brewing all around him, shit that he hadn't ended. He kept bringing his dad up and invoking his dad and his past and all the shit that his dad put on his back, which I'm not going to argue with because my dad did the same thing. All of our dads do. All of our parents do, right? Whomever our guardians may be.
That's also all over his astrology too. All of his placements say that he's going to be really resentful about the past. He won't be able to let go of the past. So that's
fine, whatever. But the female gaze.
Yes.
He ought to have known if it was true, if what he was saying is true and not some fucking buzzword. And this is where
that's the thing. It's like a feminism buzzword. Right. I think he thinks
I liken it to Blake Lively's authorship.
Oh yeah, which is super annoying. But I think that he thinks that it means a female point of view. Like if you have a female protagonist and it's the female's point of view.
To my point exactly, he doesn't know
but that's
what
not what that
doing.
Means.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No,
so he's sitting there in front of the world saying, like, and it's not bad that he doesn't know. We had the humility today to know that we didn't understand.
Oh yeah, but I'm not using those words because I don't know what the fuck they mean.
No, I don't know what they mean, and it's not necessarily my objective right now. I'm not sitting here in
Here's
this
the thing is, like,
moment.
Sometimes people use like these like buzzwords, right? Like you put it. That's a really good way to put it. And it's elevating your vocabulary without elevating your thinking. Like I don't think that he really understands these concepts. And I don't either, like the dog is snoring. I don't either. Like I never took like women's studies or like feminist theory, or I don't know anything about this.
No, me neither.
Like obviously I'm a feminist because I feel like
we're just citizens of the earth, right? But we are living in the culture and the environment. We're seeing it all get stirred up. So we don't have to be PhDs. We don't have to be scholars. We don't have to do anything in terms of deep diving beyond our own experience, right? And what we want to be and do. We can grow out of the things we don't like and grow into the things we want to be more like, right? And see a world that we're more interested in living in rather than the one that we're getting fed.
My point about him and the reason why I'm suspicious about everything that he does is that like I'm just like, okay, I wouldn't even be thinking about this if he didn't seem like such a imposter, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious about how much of an imposter he is, because he obviously said he was this one guy. Like in his TED Talk, he is saying that men should not do the exact same thing that he did, and we know he did, that he admitted to doing in these court filings. So it's like, how much else is he an imposter? Is he just like throwing out tag words so that he gets like so he gets a treat?
It's like
for being a guy that he absolutely is not. Like he's not even trying to engage in any of this like education, I
worked in corporate America for a little while, right? In the Fortune 500 like C-level sales thing, I'd go, sit down, take CEOs out for big oysters in Boston and try and sell them hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of advertising. That was my job for a little while. And and I'm not an academic guy. I didn't come out of academia at all, right? I came out of I'm fucking off the street, just word up. That's where I'm from. That's it.
Yeah, your dad's a trucker, and
My dad's a trucker. I left home at 16.
Right.
Yeah, I had a pretty rough.
Yeah.
And so totally different, different sides of the tracks. But I had a way of crossing over, whatever. I was white enough and, male enough that I could cross over. And I did. And I was able to get into that sea-level world and break into these like sort of middle class to upper middle class like worlds. And when I did that, I was able to witness all of this fucking corporate speak. They have these like, it's where the like at the end of the days and the period dot finished and all these things come from. They like cultivate around these water coolers, and everyone's like, oh, I like that. That's really snappy. And then they go out to these fucking meetings and other corporate meetings, and they drop their little snappy at the end of the days, and everyone's like, yes, at the end of the day, yes, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, at the end of the day. And all of a sudden, it's just all inauthentic and shitty. And that's really what it feels like when you hear Blake Lively say authorship. Look, I understand that she's insecure. I get it. It comes out of her mouth constantly when it comes to her contribution beyond acting. She has a deep insecurity around that.
Yeah, she's also navigating
she's blown 100 interviews because of it, frankly. And it's just insecurity, right? It's just like, it's unfortunate because they're picking on her because they want to make it something else.
Also, like when we're seeing her interviews on the red carpet, like she has been through the gauntlet with this film, trying to navigate working with Jamie Heath when he is like absolutely an antagonist in her professional life. Yeah. And like Baldoni being like completely unpredictable, and her having to like manage the situation that, she's like, I'm gonna have to file, she was already being, wasn't she already being like, she got bad press when she was doing all of the premiere interviews? So when she's speaking, I feel like we're seeing her nerves because she's speaking from a place of like, she's been under attack for the last like freaking 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. And but even before that, I do think I think that there's enough, in interviews that we can glean. At least I feel as though I feel reasonably comfortable in saying that I think that Blake Lively is a very insecure entertainer when it comes to the back end or producing and writing and all these, like, I think she has an inferiority complex with her husband and her best friend. I think that those two absolute behemoths in their fields make her feel a little bit smaller, make her feel like maybe she's been, staring at one side of the coin a little too long.
Listen, okay, well, astrologically,
I don't even know where I came up with that. Is that a saying?
I don't know.
I really like that one. I
like
remember that one.
Astrologically, when you have so many placements in your second house, a lot of people think that the second house just means like personal wealth and money. Yeah. But it really means like your skills, your personal values, and what you have that you feel like is wealthy, like what you have that you can exploit to bring out to the world, right? Yeah. So her main focus in her life, having so many planets like stacked up in her second house, and it's also Virgo too, so that's really like exacting and like analytical. So her main motivation in her life is to try and figure out how to put her skills into the world and get her skills recognized so that it can give her the self-esteem that is the promise of all of those placements. But it's a very active sort of exercise. Yes. That's not something that just like she's born with and she feels confident. Like it has to constantly be happening. And so this poor thing is like constantly being tested, which is probably the worst thing for somebody like her. She should just be able to like experience that kind of creative peace so that she can put things out into the world without having all of this like barrage of negativity. Well, it
is what it is. And, you got to live in the world and the environment or whatever. And sometimes it's not ideal, and adaptability is going to be your best weapon or your best defense. One thing that I learned very early by Anthony Robbins was flexibility is power. And the more flexible you can be, the more powerful you will be in any room or situation. He like imparted a couple of really good things, that and be expendable. He was like, you want to be expendable. You don't want.
Oh, that's interesting.
The last thing you want to be is stuck in the job, dude. Like, right. Do you want to move up? Do you want to go somewhere? Do you want to be the top of the thing or whatever? Then be expendable. And those are two things like I've strived at, and my expendability has been impeccable. By the way, I've really fucking mastered expendability. I think he should, if he could only know. Wait. Just how well I followed be expendable.
It can be a bad thing? Yeah. Is what you're saying?
Like, I could literally disappear, and it'd be like, you guys would be like, oh. All right, enough about me. Let's talk about you. So, and look, Cosmic Urgency says that he doesn't think that a male or a man can direct the female gaze. I don't know if I entirely, I disagree to the extent that I believe if you're a Kenneth Lonergan, I believe I can to the extent that it is represented in my own work. I really do. Like, that doesn't mean I'm not going to have, because I'm going to have the male gaze. Like Kenneth Lonergan, if you know his work, and if you don't, I couldn't recommend it more. I've recommended it once already on this live. I'll do it again and again and again. Watch his whole catalog. It's literally 3 movies. But they're 3 of some of the best work you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah, he did Manchester by the Sea. Like, we can't, like, he's so incredible. He's like really
he's
a
master at what he does. He's a playwright.
But also, I think that comment comes from centering American filmmaking, because it really is a cultural thing. Like, if you look at a lot of Korean films and a lot of I don't know so much about Chinese films, but some Japanese movies too. They're a lot more like female-centric storylines more often than it is here. So I feel like it's not just like a given that men can't direct films that appeal to sensitivity and feminine nature, and not just like stories about women, but it's really about like, are you feeling something emotional? Are you receptive to that watching the film? Is it like taking you on an emotional journey rather than just an entertainment one? I don't know. Maybe that's part of the difference.
Dude, listen to me. If that's, I like my chances if it's taking people on an emotional journey, because that's all I care about. I literally, like, I'm potentially working with a writer here soon, which would be fun if it works out. But I'm potentially going to be developing a writer, and I'm really excited about it. It's a job I love to do.
You're really good at it.
I am.
That's true.
I'm really good at it. It's really, I'm remarkably good at it.
Yeah, you're super gifted.
I think I'm one of the best at it, frankly.
You make people's like regular work into super, super special work.
I do. I really know how to guide writers through the process. I know how to put them through the process if they're willing to go. It's all about them in the end.
Yeah.
Of course, as it has to be. And the focus is on writers, which is the most important thing, rather than just the material. But where was I going there? I digressed there.
Was it about Cosmic Urgency's comment? I don't think guys can direct female gaze.
I don't know. Damn it. Self-congratulations always gets the train off the rails, bro. Avoid it at all costs.
I disagree with that, because I've seen some really amazing male directors. Also,
it's not about male directors. We know that male directors are great, and some of them are potentially great at directing, women or even writing women. Again, where I was going is that I think that writer directors who write their own material, and who understand the female gaze, or understand even switching gazes, and this is like a really important thing, because when you think about switching gazes, it's really about creating. If I understand this, and I may get this, I may be getting this wrong, but if it's about representing, not just like, I guess, one of the things she dropped was one of the things that they dropped was that we as men, when we think we're going to engage in the female gaze, we'll do things like make Kill Bill, right?
Right.
And she was talking about how that's us putting.
But that's a female point of view. Like, it's not interchangeable. They're completely different concepts. Like,
no, I'm saying that's the difference between point of view and gaze. In a point of view, you have the female point of view going down in Kill Bill. In gaze, we have Kill Bill written. We have her, the bride. And by the way, the bride in and of itself is probably anti-female gaze immediately.
Well, her name is Beatrix Kiddo.
Yeah, but you don't really know that. She's called the bride.
And it's revealed in the movie. I don't really understand why he doesn't just give her, why he uses the bride.
He does, he calls her the bride. But I'm saying it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to belabor on it. But the point is that it's Quentin Tarantino's gaze. It's not a woman's gaze. He's written a man's movie with a woman in the protagonist role, and that's exactly what she was speaking about, and that I thought was what they were speaking about, and what I thought they nailed in terms of like exposing something I hadn't even ever thought of, and I'm very excited that I did. And that's why the talk is linked, and I did all the diligence and got it in there so that you guys can see this talk, because it really, really, really hit home with me to be able to differentiate between, writing something that's a POV or trying to understand a woman's perspective as opposed to an actual female gaze, because in an actual female gaze, it's quite likely that the bride doesn't exist in that way at all, or can't exist at all.
You keep saying an actual, and I think it's really important to remember that this is just a criticism concept.
That's true.
So this is really just like malleable, and it's open to people's interpretation and their judgment. And I don't feel like it's like that's why I feel like it's foolish for Baldoni to even use it. He's just using a tag word, and I don't think he understands.
Well, so we're back to the subject, right? This is Baldoni's female gaze. It's really, really, really stupid for him. And and if you put it into perspective, like people who are buying into it, because I didn't buy into it the first time he fucking said it. As soon as I heard it come out of his mouth, my eyes rolled, because I was like, you directed it.
Well, also you're using like a buzzword, bro.
Yeah, well,
it's so obvious.
But he also directed the movie, and if he was truly, and it's only about his words. It's not about whether or not a guy can or he can't. It's about this. My objective, he said, is I really wanted to make sure that we focused on and that we achieved the female gaze. And then he directed it. It's the most ridiculously stupid thing I've heard in my fucking life.
Can I share this with you?
It's practically insulting. Yeah.
So this is on our Ask Feminists.
Okay.
Which I didn't know existed.
Hey, man, come on. It's Reddit. Everything exists.
But the question is, the female gaze, does it even exist?
Yes.
This is a really great discussion on here.
Right. In 2016, it barely existed.
I'm just going to read this one comment to the OP, one response. Said, I think the closest we could get to the female gaze would be media created by and centered around women. And even then, I think there would still be an influence from real world patriarchy. And that's kind of what you were saying, right? And
yes.
I think that's what people are saying about not wanting male directors to create these types of
Movies.
this type of media.
Yeah.
Well, this response to that was really interesting. Said, I did a module with a feminist professor. One topic that arose was how K-dramas, is that Korean dramas?
I'm thinking so.
One topic that arose was how K-dramas are more women-centric and has a form of the female gaze, in quotes, compared to most Hollywood media. And as we discussed that, our main K-drama for analysis was Crash Landing on You, which has a male director. So if you consider our discussion to be true, then yeah, I agree. There's an influence from men, especially since many still hold high positions of power. And that was another thing that they talked about in that talk.
In the talk, yeah.
It was about proximity to power, and how when you're making films, you want to climb higher and get more notoriety, and the entire, like, all of the judges of all of the awards and all of the like all of the deciding bodies that allow people to level up they're all run by men. And I guess some studios have like female executives, but for the most part, it's a real male-dominated industry. And so, that's
what I mean by the whole mechanism. Because like when you want the female gaze, if before it gets to the camera, it has to go through 5 white cis males
before it gets to the theater.
Before it gets to the creative, like before it gets to filming, production. If to get a female gaze to production, you have to go through 5 cis males in big influential decision makers in big influential decisions and positions. If you've got to go through all that, the female gaze is going to almost certainly be compromised.
Can I talk about Korn?
As soon as you get the band.
No.
Korn the food.
No.
Did you say corn?
Yes.
What the fuck?
But not with a P.
Oh.
Because I have to watch my language because we're on TikTok, right? Okay.
We can talk about corn.
Yeah. The reason why I want to bring it up is because there was when I used to manage an erotic boutique.
Yes, you did.
I worked there, and then I got promoted to manager super fast, and I was like, wow, I guess you guys have like...
She moved her way up.
Nobody really else working here. Which was a weird experience, but it was a woman-owned place, and at the time there was this brand new thing that had happened. I think the film studio was called like Vixen something. I can't really remember.
Vicious Vixen. By the way, Vicious Vixen saw Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay, but can you not change the subject while I'm in the middle of saying this?
I can't stop thinking.
It's not like it's important or anything.
That's okay.
There was this women-owned, women-led, women-produced film studio that was making pornographic entertainment.
Right.
And they were just trying to like make something that was more like the female gaze type kind of stuff, like more female POV, more of the sort of content that they would want to see. And it ended up being the most popular all across the board. Like for every demographic, they ended up selling the most.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like that's a really good example of how I think that
the feminine gaze, it's brilliant.
I feel like that's a really good example of how I feel like Hollywood is really kneecapping themselves by not inviting and allowing more like women executives to like run shit because it seems as though a lot of these properties and a lot of this media appeals to everybody.
They don't want it. It's misogyny. Like,
Is that why?
You're sitting there going, like, I can't believe they're cutting off their nose to spite their face. They want to cut off their nose to spite their face. What I learned most of all through all of the hell that I've been through in my Hollywood experience is that Hollywood is run by bad people, generally speaking. Those bad people are generally speaking, or no, almost they are exclusively men. At the highest level, they're exclusively men. They're almost exclusively white cis men, almost exclusively.
But my point is that if they would quit gatekeeping so much, that they would actually benefit.
But they don't. Again, this is like this. I hate to say it, but it sounds naive.
They'd profit.
They don't want women in power. Let me
like
put it to you bluntly. They don't. It's not because they don't think women are talented. It's not because they don't know women can't be productive. It's misogyny, Angela. They don't want you to have any power. They are afraid of women having any power. Period. I watched it happen. They also don't have any respect for women. There's that, because misogyny also breeds contempt, and they have contempt for women. I've witnessed it. We know this. We know Harvey Weinstein's in jail. We saw what P. Diddy did, regardless of however you want to talk about it. We saw what he did, and that he's walking, as freely as he's about to is in itself astonishing. We hear over and over again, this very ugly truth, which is that Hollywood and the United States of America, without question, the United States, they voted Donald Trump in to avoid voting for Kamala Harris. Whether or not it's rigged or whatever and all this stuff in the election, all this other stuff, it shouldn't have been close. It shouldn't have even been close. And it just shows you like where the world is at that we live in, which is this patriarchy that is infested with some misogyny. It's infested with it.
I just don't feel like the generalizations like that are very effective. Like
what do you mean?
Explaining the problem. Because it's not okay. Well, you talk about how many major film studios are currently thriving in Hollywood.
I don't know the answer to the question. I know that, I don't know who's thriving. I can't. That's too specific for me. So I don't follow their financials.
I guess what I was leading to is like I just don't believe that every single one of them has the same problem. Like they have the same problem that they don't have enough women and minority demographics in leadership positions. But I don't believe that the reason why they don't have those is what you're saying.
Okay.
Every single one of them, like maybe like a couple, because you're right, it is a huge problem, but it just feels like that's such a generalization. It just seems too easy.
I think you would see a lot more women and a lot more women-driven vehicles if I was wrong. I think that that the state of the business that comes out of Hollywood proves my point. I don't even think I think it's I think the point is made by the actual production, by what we actually see. It's practically daily that I hit our entertainment and I see women speaking out against the way that they're being treated in the industry. And they're only now just starting to come out. I don't think that they have even remotely scratched the surface of dealing with the misogyny in Hollywood. I don't even think it's even fucking come close.
No, of course not.
So the idea that it's like that there's like there might be Artie Rob's wife and an executive who loved Don Plum and tried to bring it to Miramax, Amy Israel, has thrived in that business. Amy Pascal thrived in that business. Sherry Lansing ran Paramount and is a legendary studio head who brought us things like Mission Impossible and Forrest Gump. So it's not like there aren't these stories of women who did rise to power, who did great things when they had it, and so on and so forth. All that is real and possible and exists. But that's like saying there's black people who succeed too. It's fucking bullshit. Because what there isn't is a playing field that's even remotely even for anybody to have this opportunity. These are extraordinary examples of women who squeaked through the cracks. And while they should be completely admired and revered for what they were able to accomplish. Penny Marshall is a great example on the directing side. Lauren Shuler Donner, even though she's Dick Donner's wife, she on her own was an incredibly talented producer. So these are women who slip through the cracks, but they're cracks.
Like Jane Campion makes like a, very very male, male gaze movies.
By the way, I bet you could correlate a shift in the number of women that you saw breaking into the industry once DEI started actually getting implemented into Hollywood. Because again, just as always in this country, for corporations to do the right thing, you have to fucking force them. Most of the time, unless there's a mutual benefit for them. But if they have to do something that's not entirely beneficial for the company, but more beneficial for the employee, even though it's the right thing to do, they're not going to do it.
Can I take that back?
And that's still true.
I screwed up. I said Jane Campion, but I'm thinking about who was the person who directed Near Dark? What's her name?
Kathleen Kennedy.
No.
Yes.
Kathleen Kennedy. No. Catherine Bigelow.
Catherine Bigelow.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, she's a producer. She produced.
I was thinking of Catherine Bigelow when I said Jane Campion.
Yeah, she did like The Hurt Locker. Yeah.
Why did I screw those up? They don't even look the same. You see?
We're sitting here just fucking up names left and right. We're like, hey, we don't know what the
we're
talking about.
So yeah, so Catherine Bigelow directed The Hurt Locker, Zero Dark 30, Point Break, Strange Days, Near Dark, Detroit, K-19, The Widowmaker, Blue Steel. You know what I mean? So she's making action movies. I don't buy this whole thing that men have to make men's movies and women have to make women's movies, and it can't be done well if they don't stay in their lane. It's bullshit.
Well, I don't either. I mean, I of course I absolutely don't believe in that, but I do believe in what the foundation of the creative foundation of a movie and what it is and what it isn't. So you're not going to force a female gaze into something. Like everything was the female gaze until it hit Justin Baldoni.
I think you mean the female point of view, because I don't feel like we really
put
a pin in this female gaze.
Well, speaking for myself, I'll say I'm saying the female gaze on
I know.
this.
Here's the thing is I really do feel like female gaze is something that it's a term in film criticism where you're observing a finished work. I don't know that it's something you could necessarily go into a work attempting to create. I feel like it's exclusively something that a person judges what the finished product gives them.
Well,
as a sense of their experience of it.
I see it as an approach. So I see the female gaze as an approach, as an actual approach to the project. Like the way after this beautiful video that you thankfully exposed me to, I understand female gaze to be more like the perspective, not the perspective, the approach. So again, that's why I was trying to point out, like if you took the female gaze and you try to apply the female gaze to something even like Barbed Wire. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
That was a Pamela Anderson action movie.
I loved it, by the way. It was like, I'm not a big action fan, and I just loved it. I thought she was a badass, but it doesn't matter.
Do you want to watch it again?
You haven't seen it?
No.
Yeah, I'd watch it with you for sure. It's a bad movie, but it's a good bad movie.
Listen, this person we were listening to, Joey Soloway.
Yeah, Sofia Coppola is female gaze. A great example of female gaze in my opinion. But to a certain point. But yes, I would agree with that.
This person, Joey Soloway, was talking about how they don't like action movies because they're so male centered. I feel like that's such a that's such a strange
somebody who's called East Meet
Dale.
West says female gaze is the technique, and I think they're getting closer to where sort of my point of view on it. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Is that what happened? I apologize.
That's okay.
That's
a good point.
But it's like more like the technique, and again, the reason I like using the term approach is because because you have to bring everybody in on it, and that's why it's like when you say female gaze as Justin Baldoni, it's not up to him. That he's not going to be the deliverer, the guy who delivers the female gaze. He could be the guy who facilitates it. And this is where I think there's an important distinction, because there is no escaping, and this is what we're talking about, going through that chain. There is no escaping the male gaze. It's coming. It's always going to be coming. So it's all about having the anchored people in the projects who are there to hold down that approach, the female gaze, right? Who was it? There was a great, I think it was Mel Brooks or somebody. No, it wasn't Mel Brooks. Do you remember who it was who said that they got the call and they were like, this has to come out, that has to come out, absolutely coming right out, hung up the phone and didn't take it out and never heard a word? was like an executive, like some major producer at a major
what
studio.
was it though?
They called up and they were like, "This has to come out. And this has to get cut. It's absolutely atrocious." And they're like, "Yes, sir. Atrocious. It's coming out." Hung up the phone, didn't touch it, and the fucking executive just forgot about it the next day.
For some reason, that reminded me of the story of Being John Malkovich. How they were making that. You know how that's like such a bonkers movie?
Yeah.
When they were making it, the studio was being acquired, or some sort of major transition was happening at the studio, and they literally forgot that the movie was in production.
I know.
So they got to make the whole movie without
any
any studio heads being like, "What the fuck,
dude?" It's like,
and they knew for sure that if a studio guy showed up on set, they would be like, "No, we can't do this."
It's like an open bar in the wrong hands. Catherine Bigelow is not a female gaze, says Cosmic Urgency. I agree. Lena Dunham is a female gaze, says Cosmic Urgency, and I agree. Eliza Huffman is the female gaze. I don't know enough. I'm just gonna have to.
Eliza Huffman?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up.
Is it Huffman? No, it's Hittman. Hittman.
Hitt. Yeah, it autofilled. American screenwriter and film director. Known for. Let's see. These are really recent movies, so that's awesome that this person has some notoriety. I've never heard of these titles. It Felt Like Love, Beach Rats, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to check her out. Taylor Swift, female gaze, like actually the perfect female gaze in terms of like everything on the table. And as a matter of fact, when you had the patriarchy moving in on her shit, it got ugly. You know? Like it was like when I talk about protecting the female gaze, that's exactly what Taylor Swift was faced with when she had to deal with fuckface. What's his name? Scoots. I miss the Scoots, man.
What do you mean you miss the Scoots?
We go way back. Me and him, we used to go bass fishing. Go catch some bass.
Have you ever been fishing?
So as a kid, so much. Oh my God, I caught everything you can get out of lakes and rivers in my
rivers.
Lakes and rivers. I lived by a river. I fished that river like a crazy person.
Did you like fishing?
Yes, I loved it until I started like. Did you know that they apparently experience and this is gonna sound stupid, like yeah, duh, but they apparently like the hook in the mouth is like really painful.
I was always really like.
And I had some rough getting them out.
I was always really freaked out about the flailing fish and they're gasping. I was like, I don't want to be a part of this. I really enjoyed fishing, but I didn't ever want to catch something. I just wanted to like watch it bob, you know?
I love fishing. I showed you the picture of my dad who like just like 8-9 years ago, or maybe less than that, like 6 years ago. He's like 84 now, 85 now. But he caught like a 6-foot sturgeon. Remember?
Those are massive. They look like dinosaurs.
He caught that right out of the Assiniboine too. We have 2 rivers that run through Winnipeg. Winnipeg gets flash flooded, like they're on the flash flood list big time.
Do people eat sturgeon?
I don't believe. I've never heard anyone eat a sturgeon before.
So did he just catch a fish for nothing?
He was sport. He put it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. East meets West bestie. Oh. Eastie meets Westie bestie, I think is what that says. Fishing is a cruel sport. Hunting and catch and release is the cruelest. It really is. So I don't fish. I haven't fished in decades because once I became a vegetarian, when I was like, I ended up like renouncing my vegetarianism, I guess, or whatever. I switched back to meat. Years ago, on the advice of a doctor, I was disappearing, I guess you could say.
Yeah, the doctor's advice was like, you have to continue eating what you ate as a baby.
Cosmic Urgency is asking why I only need readers, and I just don't have them handy.
Dale,
what?
You keep distracting.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Do you want me to handle the chat so that you can stay
in
conversation?
Yeah, I gotta handle it. You gotta handle the chat. That's the problem.
So you were talking about being vegetarian.
I was talking about being a vegetarian, and when I became a vegetarian, I started, gaining a whole lot of sympathy toward animals and a disgust toward processing, especially.
Processing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a
slaughterhouse
meatpacking
to
plant.
packaging.
I went to a meatpacking plant.
Why?
I didn't even go inside. It was because
Why did you go to a meatpacking?
Because I was trying to educate myself. Like this is when I was becoming a vegetarian. I was deciding on it.
So you went to a meat
So
packing plant?
I drove to a meat packing plant, and I couldn't go inside because I was almost puking out in the parking lot
From the smell?
from the smell. It was the most horrid. If you want to quit meat, go to a meat packing plant, go to wherever the stuff is coming out, and just take deep breaths, man. Just go in there and go, and just change your life.
You're like, yep, that's food.
Oh my God. That was it. It was, I didn't eat meat again for 14 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's not exactly true. There was another incident. I'll tell it because it's a fun one. I was eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. So I went to the meat plant. I was like, oh, and I was like, I'm only going to eat white meat. I'm not going to eat red meat because that's the plant I went to. Not going to a chicken plant. Ignorance is bliss. I'm only going to eat white chicken. That's it. So I went to Kentucky Fried Chicken and I got some Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I bit into this piece of chicken, and like an artery slipped in between my teeth, and it was caught and it was jiggling between my lips and inside my mouth. It was just wiggling, and I couldn't get it out, and I was panicking, and I was trying to pull it out. And then when I got it out, it was like purple and awful. Yeah. And that was the last time. That was the last bite I took for 14 years of any kind of meat whatsoever.
Oh my God.
It was this juggly. Oh my God.
I have experienced that before. It's really horrible.
You had one?
No, I've experienced that before. Yeah,
like where you get the juggly vein in between your teeth.
Eating like chicken wings or something, and you like bite into something. You're like, that's weird.
Yeah, it's
Not
like
fun.
I was done. I was a wrap.
Amazing.
I was over. I couldn't do it. Why did we digress into that? I don't know what happened.
You were talking about vegetarianism. I was talking about fishing. That's why.
Fishing.
Yes, because because I asked you if you enjoyed fishing.
I loved it.
And you said, I can't, I'm a vegetarian.
It used to be it was like a peaceful thing I used to do as a kid. I used to go, on the weekends, or during the summer, I'd go all the time. But, even on the weekends, if the river wasn't frozen yet.
Yeah, I think it would be really nice to have like a little, like a pond or a lake you could go to where you could feed the fish. So you can like,
like a koi pond.
See the fish. Like hang out with the fish, watch the fish, do stuff, and feed them.
I agree with you.
Instead of catching them.
Air. I'm just gonna say air because I can't read it all because of my damn eyes. It says Toby is a vegetarian also. Yeah, that was a bond he and I had. When we first became friends. When I found out he was a vegetarian, it was like it deepened our friendship.
Would you guys gang up on your meat eater friends?
Yeah, a little bit. I tried to like allude to it a little bit when we were talking about, in the book when he and I are at the French dip place for lunch.
Yeah, right.
And all we can have is fries and fucking potato salad or whatever.
Coleslaw.
Bernice is here, and speaking a different language. Hello, Bernice. I don't speak. Is that? It looks like that might be Spanish, or I don't think, is that vida eterna también? That's Spanish, right?
Yep, this is Spanish.
I don't speak Spanish, but Angela does, at least to a certain extent.
Yeah, I think that this is religious stuff.
Oh.
But this person isn't spamming us, so I think they can stay.
Jesus Cristo. Yeah, I see that. All right, anyway, moving on.
It says God sent Jesus Christ to die for our sins and resuscitated
Lazarus
to give us eternal life.
Well, that's cool. Cool, yeah. That's nice.
It goes on.
It's pretty selfless, if you
I'm
ask
not that
me.
great at reading Spanish, but.
From animal suffering to vegetarianism, a natural progression. No idea if you saw my other comments also. We'll get to them. I'm sorry, I'm bad at. Angelo is really good at keeping me on comments, and I haven't been good. We'll get to the TikTok comments. I really appreciate you guys being here. Holy damn shit, we have 10,500 likes on TikTok right now.
Sweet.
Damn, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
So this person who's not sure if you saw the other comments,
yes,
is asking, is Amy Israel nice? I see her name in the credits of stuff.
Yeah, Amy Israel's is nice, I would say. Yes.
This question, would you ever make a Don's Plum sequel?
I would make another film in the style of Don's Plum. I would not make a Don's Plum sequel. You know what? I had an idea for Don's Plum like a long, long time ago about maybe it was before Angela was in my life, so probably 15 or 20 years ago, I thought about like what would happen if all the guys got together when we were in our 60s and we intercut it I wrote something or we wrote something and shot it and intercut it with the thing we did in the 90s. So Don's Plum and like rebuild the interior on a stage and just shoot Don's Plum.
Yeah, but they're all terrible people, so you'd have to
30 years later.
You'd have to recast them. Because you're never going to work with those people again. Come on.
Yeah.
It's a great idea if you recast people that look the same.
Vicious,
also,
who did Stevie Ray Vaughan open for? I lost that comment. I want to know.
You want me to find it?
It's all the way back.
That's okay. I got you.
It's like on Tuesday. It is Tuesday, isn't it? Happy Tuesday.
Arable Aerosol says, Don's Plum is like both gazes at different times. And then also you're very inspiring.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. Nice? Yeah, that's very moving and kind for you to say. This is a good point. Like, Don's Plum was very much a male written piece. And I specifically asked to get Bethany on board. And Artie was 100% on board with this. Like, Artie was, I would say an equal, participant in wanting this. But we wanted to bring Bethany Ashton in so that she could give us these really great moments where we could understand more about what we were doing. Because what we wanted to take misogyny and kind of turn it on its head a little bit. We wanted the misogyny in the movie, but we wanted the women to triumph over them, And so to write that as a dude, super tricky, bro.
I really love that. A lot of people like to judge Don's Plum saying that it's like sexist or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you
watch, and it is to an extent. Yeah.
I feel like that's like such a shallow interpretation, because if you pay any attention to the film, you realize that these dudes are constantly trying to win over these women. Either being nice or being jerks, right?
Yeah.
Like dominating them or whatever, and they never prevail, and they're completely oblivious to how they lose. But they keep losing.
They keep fucking losing.
And the women are so like casually winning the whole time.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
This is great. So an answer to your question.
Robert
you
Plant.
asked. Yes. There you go. You got
29 Palms. No, how does that go? Remember that song?
No.
29 Palms?
I don't.
You wouldn't like it. That's
Why?
my guess.
Because I don't like anything?
No, you like lots of things, but I don't think you would like Robert Plant's records.
Really?
If you haven't heard them, no. He's all right as a solo artist, but Zeppelin was a thing.
Mr. Hans 58 wants to know, do you think Danny Boyle left Jerry Swindall on that island?
Yes.
That wasn't very nice of him.
I think so. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you know this, but those guys ruined a pristine, prehistoric beach. They destroyed it, and it was prehistoric. By that I mean it has been literally undisturbed for tens of thousands, if not longer, maybe hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of years. Like, this beach was not touched by mankind. And they fucking touched it. And they fucked it up. And I think Jerry Swindall was the payment. I think Jerry Swindall
was the sacrifice.
Is paying for those sins.
That's funny.
So I think he remains in, where is that, Thailand? He's in Thailand. He's probably tied to something. He's probably been there for decades.
Maybe.
They probably feed him little small squiggly fishes, and they probably bleed him with leeches.
Probably. Allegedly.
Don't fuck with the Thai beaches, bro.
Okay, Jenna has this is kind of on the same topic.
Okay.
Jenna's asking, is it true LA is haunted or demons are there?
I'm going to go with yes. 100% true.
There are some really, really spooky things that people say about Laurel Canyon. Laurel Canyon is apparently a really, really spooky place where paranormal stuff happens all the time. And there's a lot of cult activity there where they do I don't know if it's like seances, but they definitely are exploiting the spooky vibe.
It's like the Boulevard of Broken Dreams is sort of what.
Also, you know how they say that there's aliens underneath Catalina?
Yeah. Yes.
You know, those alien investigators are always off the coast of Los Angeles.
They believe that there are UAP
diving into near Catalina Island off the coast of Los Angeles, and that they somehow live under, or something's happening underneath there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think LA is probably a really spooky place.
Aliens are real.
It feels like, I think that it's not a coincidence that there's so much creativity that is drawn to there and also that comes out of there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably not a coincidence, and that it's somehow there's some sort of like magnetism or some like mystical allure or something. Like there's something
Mystical
weird about
allure?
that place. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they found out that there was like a giant meteor that was made of like this really strange, extraterrestrial like
Gooey substance.
element that we don't even know about.
Toxic Avenger.
That's like
Was
underneath
was that the
underneath
Toxic
Los
Avenger?
Angeles.
Was that the Toxic Avenger?
Los Angeles has tar pits.
Yeah, have you ever been?
Yes.
It's so neat.
I used to go all the time. I thought it was really great.
So fucking neat.
They're like bubbling tar pits.
Bubbling tar pits.
And then they have these like sculptures of these prehistoric animals like dramatically dying in the tar pits.
Because they pulled bones out of them tar
It's
pits.
so dramatic. I think they actually fixed it because in the 80s when I used to go, my mom is from LA, so she would visit home and take us kids. When in the 80s,
La-di-da.
they used to have like really, really gruesome scenes. Like they would have like a baby, like woolly mammoth, and then like the mother woolly mammoth, like, crying about it.
Yeah.
It's just really traumatic. I think they fixed that. They kind of like tamed it down, made it more like PG-13.
They got to get in there and
It
break
wasn't
everybody's
all
hearts.
like a never-ending story.
It's also an active archaeological dig, which is pretty cool. And they have like, you saw that, like they have that like area where you can just watch where they're sitting there and dusting off the bones. And there's like, do you ever see that little area in the
It
museum?
must have been closed because I haven't seen that. But
It's
that's
dope.
neat.
It's really fucking cool. It's like, what?
So that's kind of weird. I mean, you don't see that everywhere. Like that's unique about LA. Maybe it's got something to do with paranormal activity. I don't know.
What Cosmic Urgency said about translating that, he's like, I speak Spanish, but I ain't typing all that up.
I know. It's a lot.
So yes, Guilty Angel says LA is haunted, and I would say that yes, if haunting is real, it could very well be, then LA would definitely be haunted, because not only would LA be haunted because of its like wild history, but there's like so many like unfinished stories in Hollywood. Like it is the land of unfinished stories. It is where people went and they had their dreams and they had their stories in screenplays or in books or in other forms, and none of it got made. And it's just and careers.
This is what the hunting is.
Yes.
It's the hunt. It's the ghosts of all of that creative energy or creative input.
Yes.
And they're just like the ghosts of those projects just like wander around. You know how a lot of creative
So sorry.
people. You know how a lot of creative people will think they feel like they imbue a bit of their spirit into their work.
Yes.
So if that work doesn't get made or it doesn't go anywhere, does it just haunt? Is it just like a disembodied ghost that just like keeps, rattling the chains every night? Yeah,
exactly. I love that though.
I love it too, man. There's something about people shit on LA all the time, and it's fine. You guys don't need to love it, but I absolutely adore that place. It does have like a spooky vibe. And
LA?
do. Yeah, it's not the kind of
I love LA.
It's not the same kind of spooky vibe as like the Southwest desert. That is a very, very, very different vibe. That is like there's like a really like almost like a sinister but balanced kind of like the wind in like New Mexico. It kind of creates like a vacuum feeling. It's really eerie, where like you
it doesn't matter if it's New Mexico or it's
Arizona.
Palm Springs. Like Palm Springs, like your lungs get evacuated. Like a wind will come and it'll take your breath out of you. It's wild.
Yeah, it's just really eerie feeling.
It's like the cold does that too.
When you hear about all the paranormal stories about like the indigenous cultures doing like shape shifting and stuff like that from the southeast, the Southwest desert area, you totally believe it because that place feels weird. LA has a different weird feeling, but. I love it, man.
I love LA. I love LA. I'll never not love LA. I miss it. It's not the same as. It's not the mystical or the mythical place that people like to make it out to be, I suppose. Or it's not the tinsel town that media likes to portray. It's also not like this like decrepit, super scandalous, like filthy debauchery Babylon, kind of thing either. It's actually a melting pot of so many different things and lifestyles. And what's wild about LA is when you get there and you see the complexity of it. It's such a, there's Hollywood and there's that scene, but it's a very small scene. Like Hollywood is this like small chunk of LA. Like LA is a vast place. And when you start actually stretching the map out and you start going to places And while, certainly the Tinseltown part of Hollywood will always stretch out into all of these areas to some degree, there is an immense amount of diversity in just culture and life and food, and
that's another thing too.
It's just amazing. And the architecture can blow you away from one moment to the next. Like you could drive you can just like end up in a neighborhood and you'll be like, what are these homes? They're just amazing.
I know, it's just artistically really vibrant everywhere. Yeah. It's artistically vibrant in the cuisine. It's artistically vibrant in like the murals.
Yeah.
Like there's just there's dancers, comedians, like it's just a huge, I feel like the 20 years I spent in LA, every single person that I met had like some hidden talent that was extraordinary.
Yeah.
But like you meet them at work, you're both waiting tables or like they're the line cook or something, and you just don't know about them until you discover it, and you're like, I can't believe you can sing like that. Or like, well, I can't believe
that literally happened to me with Brittany Murphy. Like I had no idea that this voice was going to come out of this girl, man. And I knew she was a great actor, a great little actor. Like her stuff in Clueless blew my mind,
It's just like an immensely, like just a densely vibrant place for talent.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a really fun place to live when you're surrounded by people like that.
Well, I also think there's a congregation of creativity there that creates an envelop, that creates a cloud of it, like a haze, a creative haze. Like you can feel it. I can feel it, It's
so maybe that's how it's haunted.
It's not like so easy to tap into.
Maybe that's how it's like, it's not demons, it's like spirits, but like, it's this, maybe maybe the people that live there are the ones that are creating it, not like some undead, like paranormal force,
Yes, there is a known vortex in Sedona, Jerome, Arizona. It's supposed to be
known
haunted.
Vortex?
A known vortex.
Yes, tell me everything.
Dude, I want to walk through it. What do you do? What happens when you go through it? Do you retain all your limbs?
Well,
what is a vortex?
Have you ever heard of the Stairs in the Woods stories?
Is it like the Vornado in a way?
I don't know about vortexes, but I know about portals. Have you ever heard those stories? The paranormal stories about the portals?
Yeah, of course.
The stories
about...
I saw
Poltergeist, bro. I watched that like so many times.
Do you know the stories about Stairs in the Woods?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I've looked at pictures, the hauntingly terrible pictures of stairs.
If you're ever walking around in the woods and you see stairs and you're like, oh, that's interesting. I bet this was like an old house here. Maybe I'll investigate.
It's Jacob's Ladder.
Do not climb the stairs.
It's bad.
You'll never come back. Your friends will never know what happened to you.
You're going to fucking.
It's a trap.
If you want to see what will happen to you, you can get a taste of it by watching the series Dark Matter on Apple.
But you should read the book instead.
Read the book and watch the series
Blake
because they're
Crouch.
both great.
I went looking for it, and there's apparently a bunch of titles. Dark Matter. It's like a really common.
Blake Crouch.
Yeah, Blake Crouch's Dark Matter.
Yeah, it's a series on Apple. I highly recommend this guy. He's great. He's a great writer. He's really fun. He's actually a screenwriter, who writes books also.
He got me out of a reading slump. It's that good.
I think screenwriters turn novelists really make it. It's really cool.
It's really good.
Like Benioff's book. I couldn't recommend it enough.
They should all do it. I don't.
What's that called?
City of Thieves.
City of Thieves by David Benioff, who
I haven't read it.
Who brought you Gladiator and Game of Thrones. Wrote a book called City of Thieves.
I was surprised how short it is.
It's excellent.
You read it?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
I think it's been sitting on my shelf.
And I'll tell you that it was sitting on the shelf forever, and I was like, oh fuck it, it's a short book. But I was like kind of reluctant. I was like, I don't want to read a screenwriter's book. Fuck that. I want to read an author, bro.
Come on.
And then I got it, and then I see like the first page. I was like, see what I mean? Just like the first like couple of paragraphs, and then within like 4 or 5 pages, that's how quickly he got me, bro. Within 4 or 5 pages, I was like, oh shit, okay. Like he could, and then I just
so judgmental.
I loved it. I can be.
Me too, man. I don't know how to just enjoy stuff. I always have to like pick it apart.
Well, I'm not as critical as I sound. Well, I am as critical as I sound. I'm just not as like mean about it. But I definitely am somebody who, like, I can't read books without thinking about writing them, and I can't like all of that. Mm-hmm. The way my life is now, I don't mind it. It's like if you're a chef, you deconstruct everything. It's taste it now, make it. Everything is taste it now, make it. You don't put food in your mouth and just enjoy it. You put food in your mouth and you're like, oh, is that dill or is that whatever?
No, it's true. If you ever read any of like Jonathan Gold's food writing,
yeah,
he's not just writing about like fancy food or anything. He's just I feel like a lot of people who are like professional critics really understand that it's not like they're not just being like judgmental. They're not just being like haters.
No.
They really do experience life differently, and they feel like better. Like you get a more nuanced experience of everything that you consume if you're thinking about it through the lens of criticism, right? Because then you're like measuring and analyzing and really like finding the things and
everything
thinking
I cook,
about
I do that. Everything I cook after I eat it, every meal. It doesn't matter if I've cooked the meal 100 times. Every meal I cook, I think, oh shit, I didn't do this properly, or I overcooked that a little bit, or if I pull those carrots off like 40 seconds earlier, they're just going to be better.
I just think that the main message of like
Carrots, people.
Why everybody should be more of a critic.
Yes.
Is that it really helps you just think more about the stuff that you're consuming and be like engage with it more. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people, especially now that everything is so readily on demand constantly, we're being encouraged to like just consume a thing and then immediately discard it from our minds in order to consume the next thing. And I feel like it's really, really great practice to sort of like be present, really think about something. Like you don't have to do a fucking book report on everything that you read or whatever, but it's like, it's really a way to live better. It's like you just really spend time with each thing that you're consuming.
You know, live longer. You know what they said. You know what they said about reading 30 minutes a day. This is scientific. Like they have like some like multi-decade study now, data. You know, aggregation, whatever it might be, whatever. It's scientific. It's like a you know peer reviewed, and 30 minutes of reading a day adds to the longevity of your life. Generally speaking, it adds to, so like people who like, I think it's only 3 or 4 days.
Maybe it's because of what it does for your.
But it's like a weekend. You get a whole new weekend.
But like you know how Gordon Ramsay has the Hell's Kitchen cooking show, okay?
Yeah.
And he has one of the challenges for all of his contestants is the Taste It Now, Make It challenge.
Yeah, I love that.
Where he'll like cook something really elaborate and he'll serve it to all of them. And he'll be like, you'll just have to figure it out. Like taste it and then you guys have to make it.
Yeah.
I feel like if you just approach everything you eat that way, as if it's a Taste It Now, Make It challenge, like you're encouraging yourself to really, really engage with and taste every single part of it and like really pick it apart. It's really a wonderful way to enjoy things. I don't know. That's my very mercury coated way of doing stuff, I guess. Something
I didn't cover yesterday that I wanted to cover was James Gunn. He's talking again, and he said he doesn't get how Superman is being considered woke. I wish people would even understand what woke is. You know, all these people just talk. It's like the female gaze and all these other really important things that people just are just like, oh, woke must mean this, and then that's what it means, as opposed to even understanding that where its origins, where it originates, and why it's being attacked as a concept.
American culture loves to steal concepts that are exclusively like Black American culture.
Exactly.
And then turn it into something horrible.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's just horrible.
So anyway, James Gunn says
it's all exploitative and shitty.
James Gunn said that he didn't think that he didn't understand why people were calling it woke, and he says that anti-American sentiment around the world isn't helping us at the global box office. So I just how you doing at the box office? I thought I'd check. They've done $600 million in the box office so far. They've done fucking Superman. They've done almost $1 billion, and the movie hasn't been out that long, bro. They did $600 million. They did 200 and something million here, and I think 600 million in overseas, or maybe 400 million. Yeah, 400 million overseas, 200 and change here. They're at almost $1 billion, and James Gunn wants us to believe. And I'm not saying that maybe there's some truth to that, but you did $600 million, bro.
Wait, but isn't it still like Superman
is still going strong? It won the weekend.
Isn't the character of Superman like a stand-in for America? Like, isn't it like ultimately like America saves the day?
Well,
type story.
White savior, maybe. I don't know.
No, like specifically like American savior. Like Superman comes in and he saves everybody, and everybody's like, "Oh, thank you, Superman."
It's like red, white, and blue. It's like red, white costume, white dude.
Yeah, like exactly
red
like
and blue costume, white dude.
The pro-American imperialism like propaganda that we always make, right? Isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's like what Superman does all the time is like save people with his red, white, and blue, outfit.
I mean, it's red and blue, and he's white.
Yes, exactly.
I used to watch Smallville. Hey, I wonder what's happening with that chick. Remember she went to jail for her
Oh
crazy
yeah,
shit?
let me look this up.
Anyway, Smallville, I used to watch that, and they had Red Blue Blur because it was like before he was Superman, so he would be like wearing blue jeans and a red jacket, and then he like you know how Superman is faster than a speeding bullet, or did
Yes.
you know that?
Superman is faster than a speeding bullet.
You know that?
See what I mean about the American imperialism?
Yeah.
Who's the greatest arms manufacturer in the entire world? You know? You see what I mean?
Pedro Pascal.
That's right. These guns? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Did you see them in that
No, I didn't.
Vanity Fair shoot he did? Man, that guy is like smoking hot.
Okay, it's Allison Mack is her name.
Allison Mack, yeah. Boy, man.
You
Remember
want
when
the
she was like
latest?
branding girls and stuff? She went to jail. Yeah, she out yet?
Let me see. She was released in July 2023. She
was-
served 2 years of a 3-year sentence.
Yeah.
And it was for racketeering charges related to her involvement with the cult.
Dude, I wonder
In
what she's
June
doing.
2025, it was reported that she got married. This is... Okay.
I loved her little character too, like Allison Mack's character. I loved her. Did any of you guys watch what was it called again? Smallville. No. Yeah, Smallville.
So she's back to living her normal life, I guess. I mean, she's probably a felon.
Oh, she is a felon. She did 2 of 3 years.
The cult leader, Keith Rainier, was sentenced to 120 years
Yeah.
for his crimes.
Yeah, well, she got off because she
Damn.
did some helpies.
Did she collaborate
She
with
turned
the...
on him, yeah.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer right
120
there.
years. They were branding
You're
people.
definitely
They were
gonna do
literally
that.
branding people. Women.
Man.
Smallville was awful, says Cosmic Urgency. I don't know. I mean, it was awful in a good way, man. At least the first few seasons were.
Okay, the last thing that I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
Forgive me because this is about politics.
You're
But I guess it's not because
politician.
it's kind of like weirder than politics.
That's all right. We're partly political. I've realized. Look, man, politics is around us, and entertainment is politics. So I'm not going to resist it. It's not going to be the focus of what we do. But I'm also not going to avoid it like I was trying to. Like I wasn't uttering their names. And enough. Pizza.
I don't know if this is true. I feel like this is too weird, and I'm not seeing it anywhere else. But apparently Trump wants to give J.D. Vance a lie detector test because he thinks that he was like leaking or doing
That's so
or like
juicy.
conspiring against him about the Epstein stuff.
That's the most juicy thing I ever heard. That's the juiciest.
And it's one of
fucking-
those things that somebody could totally make up. Like it could be a parody account that just makes it up, but it's so believable because the guy is like so unhinged all the time. So
I
you
love it.
just
I want
imagine
that to
he
be
would
true.
just say that.
I want there to be. I
Especially
want
since-
footage of this. I want this to be released to the public. Well, you know how he is. You know what's so interesting about
I don't
this?
even know if it's true, but
How scared are you if you're JD Vance? Remember what he did to his first
That's
vice
what I'm
president?
saying. That's why
this
it's
motherfucker
believable.
now he's going to get a lie detector test. What happens if he fails?
he's not. I don't know if he's gonna. I
If
don't
it's
know.
true,
It
if
doesn't
it's
make
true,
any sense.
if it's true, and let's play in this fantasy world for a minute and say, okay, this rumor is true, and JD Vance is going to get a fucking lie detector test. If he fails that test, how confident is he that he is going to be seeing 2026 at all?
I don't know,
That
man.
motherfucker thinks he's going to be dead, right?
Are you allowed to say that?
I did. Am I in trouble? Shackle me.
I like it when you smile like that. It's really cute.
What? What is going to happen to him?
Chiclets come out.
What's going to happen? You can't swoon on me, Angela. We're working.
I'm at work.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Don't embarrass me in front of my friends.
New photographs emerging of Trump and Epstein. Oh, this thing is just going wildly bad for him.
So it's not going away.
It's not going to go away, dude. Well, you know how they are obsessed.
Yes. Here's the thing: is that he pissed off the QAnon crowd, and they never let anything go.
Dude, he was pulling shit on them, but once they figure it out, they're gonna be mad,
And they're
mad, dude.
never gonna
and
let it
they're
go.
gonna do shit about it.
You think so?
Oh, for sure. They're gonna do shit about it.
I don't know.
Watch and see, especially now that you have the whole GOP protecting PDF files. Forget about it. Oh, look at Jeffrey Epstein hanging out with Howard Stern. There you go.
I hung out with Howard Stern.
Did you?
Yeah,
Really?
I was in his music video.
Huh. He had a music video?
Well, he had a movie. Do you remember the Howard Stern movie?
Yeah, Private Parts.
Private Parts.
I loved it.
Exactly. And then they had a music video.
WNBC.
Yeah. So the music video was Porno for Pyros. Did the
Yeah.
like the song, whatever, the
Perry Farrell's
soundtrack song.
Yeah.
And I was in their music video for their song called Hard Charger. You can see me in the video. I'm running downstairs. But I hung out and I shared a space heater with Howard Stern. He was a very, very nice person. I was dressed as like a Catholic schoolgirl for the video.
Sweet.
And I was supposed to hang out with
Male
Howard.
gaze.
I was and I was supposed to hang out with Howard Stern. We were just waiting between like whatever takes or whatever. And I was like, oh geez, he's gonna be obnoxious. Like, this is gonna suck. But he was really sweet. He didn't treat me at all like I was dressed as a Catholic schoolgirl.
Cosmic Urgency, Leo Edits on TikTok wants you to know that you are wrong and that Smallville was awesome. And I gotta say, it was good. It's not, it's really trashy, This coming from the guy, enough is not enough of the stuff.
Yeah, I know. I resent being made to watch that movie. Has anybody explained why young Scott Bloom was shirtless throughout that whole film?
Because he's hot, dude. What do you mean? Oh, wait, he was 12.
It's not good, man.
It's bad. It was a bad look. That
I noticed.
That definitely bothered me, for sure. I noticed, like, why?
I was like, why is this small boy
Because kids,
walking
that's
around?
the way kids were. So put a fucking t-shirt on them. They were that way too.
Yeah.
They wore t-shirts.
Yeah.
I was a kid. Yeah, I was naked from the waist up more than once, but
Suspicious.
yeah, very suspicious. I agree.
Your keyboard is so noisy.
I love my keyboard. It's mechanical. I'm a writer. I can't use.
Oh, Cosmic Urgency said that Superman is a metaphor, whatever, a stand-in for Jesus.
Yeah.
And yes.
See, everybody's writing about Jesus. Iron Man
truth,
and
justice,
Superman.
Truth, justice, and the American way.
All right, then.
Well, isn't Jesus like a combination of a bunch of other myths? Like, didn't he have like the same story? Like, his origin story is the same as Osiris. And then like a bunch of other like different mythologies were borrowed to make the story of Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, there's
so
a
like
whole,
it wouldn't be weird.
There's a whole. I mean, the Bible uses stories that are from all over.
So what I mean is like it wouldn't be weird if Superman was a stand-in for Jesus, because Jesus is a stand-in for other mythology, and it's just like a recycling of all of these stories we've been telling since the beginning of time. Right?
Yeah, it is that way. Of course, we know this from Noah's flood, and all of this is all just recycled stuff. Trump says that there's a strong word that Kimmel and Fallon will be fired next, and he's already taken credit. And I'll tell you, man, this is a distraction. This is a very interesting.
He doesn't
thing.
actually give a fuck about this.
Well, I mean, he does.
He's trying to change the narrative.
From
in the media.
Epstein, yeah.
Yes.
He's trying to get people to not talk about
He's trying
Epstein.
to do weird stuff because he's doing really seriously
picking
bad stuff, and he doesn't want everybody to talk about it.
But where it's working is that he's got CBS, because I don't know if you know this whole deal, but CBS has a pending deal right now. Right? They're about to be acquired for $8 billion, and it has to be approved by Trump's fucking commissioner.
Oh, weird.
So this is all, they're firing Colbert, getting rid of that, and this is all to appease Trump.
What network had The Apprentice on? Because remember, there was some
CBS?
There was some antagonism between him,
might have been
between Trump and the producers of The Apprentice. And then, like, apparently they were gonna put out behind the scenes like videos or audio of him being racist or something. So he has a bone to pick with those people, and it doesn't seem unreasonable for a guy like that to just like transfer the
NBC
the label. Oh, okay.
I thought it was NBC, but I didn't want to like open my big fat mouth until I knew. So CBS, yeah. So it's a favor to Donald Trump. They got rid of Stephen Colbert as a favor to Donald Trump. And the way to get rid of him easy was to cancel the show entirely, which was just such a weird move in general. But yeah, to me, it's like the writing's on the wall on this one. Literally, Donald Trump is getting bribed by the shit that's out in the open now, that like used to be stuff we never got to see. Like, it was always stuff that we never knew about. We didn't know about the shady under dealings. But Donald Trump is just an open book, bro. He's like, yo, crime. I show you my crimes.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm engaging in
I know,
collusion.
that's such like old news. I kind of can't muster much interest for corporate warfare, and that's what's happening.
Well, it's not just corporate warfare in this instance because he's silencing media, so and critics.
Oh, I know, but okay.
That's what dictators do.
But like late night talk shows aren't necessarily the media that we're like. It's not like he's going
I wouldn't
after
agree
like
with that at all. In
it's
fact,
not like he's going after the Associated Press and like Reuters and like know what I mean.
I know, but I think you're
Like, it's
I think
like-
you're underestimating both the
Like a
power
celebrity
and
talk
the
show.
value of what they do. It's not just that. Like especially Colbert. Colbert is his whole entire existence is political. He's Bill Maher in his in terms of his niche. He's not he's a political niche. It's not David Letterman. If it was just David Letterman cracking jokes, or like for that matter, then why not get Saturday Night Live canceled? You know what I mean?
I know, but do you have to make like a big make him this exclusive political figure in order to make it a big deal? Because otherwise he's just a TV show host. I just don't. I feel like he's been a TV show host for so long. It's just like I don't really care.
All right, play it down. That's up to you, bro. I see it as really bad.
I just feel like all the rich people and all the rich people corporations are going to be just fine. I'm more interested in.
I'm not worried about them. I'm talking
what
about
else is happening in the news.
I'm talking about the kiboshing of media, of message. I mean, you may not, hold value on what Stephen Colbert does, but I do. I think that, and even though I'm not a fan or I didn't watch him with any regularity, there was a time in my life when I did turn to comedians and musicians and everybody else, especially young people. They are heavily influenced by these types of people.
Listen,
and so
I'm
if
not
you have
saying-
somebody who's opposing the president and he's using that as he's using the leverage of a pending $8+ billion transfer of money and power to kibosh and to silence his critics, I think we're in a bad, we've always been in a bad way, but that's like really, really bad.
I understand, and I do believe it's a really, really big deal. I just feel like there are like bigger, more pressing, more like literal people suffering type issues at the
Who's going to
current
tell us
moment.
about them if all he can do is silence everybody by doing things like getting 60 Minutes to pay off
That's true.
money and doing things like getting rid of anybody? If he can just start getting rid of people, how are we going to ever find out about these things? We're not, dude. They're going to steal from us, bro. They're stealing from us every day. It is what it is. It sucks. What are you going to do? Blah, blah, blah. But, fuck Donald Trump. That's what I say about that.
Did you have anything else planned?
No, I'm finishing off these last headlines that I had.
Oh, okay.
The last one I have is Pedro Pascal was mortified by the way that he looked in Wonder Woman 1984, which I never saw. I'm not a big Wonder Woman consumer. I never have been. I did watch a little of the Crystal Gale. No, not Crystal Gale. What was her name? I watched the TV series when I was a kid because there was 13 channels.
No, he's talking about the recent sequel with Gal Gadot.
Yeah, I never saw it. That's what I'm saying. Wonder Woman 1984. I heard it was a bomb, right? It was like, it was like a crater where it once was.
Yeah, she's infamous as not being really great. This dog is honk shooing over here.
I'm chewing. Anyway, he apparently was shaved, cleanly shaved in that
He doesn't
movie.
like his chin.
And he was mortified by the way he looked, and so he will not accept a role now that requires him to shave. I'll bet you if Pedro I get his name wrong, Alton. Almodovar. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I bet you if that dude calls with a feature, because he's already worked with him on a short. But I bet you if he calls with a short feature, he
Of
says,
course.
"But I'm going to need you to take." He's like a motherfucker. Or if like Spielberg calls, when Spielberg calls, I guess I should say. 'Cause, I think Spielberg will be calling Pedro soon if he hasn't already. They probably got like 5 projects in development. If it was purely political, they would have replaced Colbert, not canceled the show altogether. No one watches TV anymore. All those shows are on their way out. Well, there's truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that. I will say, though, that if the show, I mean, I don't know, man. It's the late show, bro. The ratings is not really what they're chasing in a big way at 11:30 or whatever. They're just, I don't know, whatever.
He's just such
what are they going to replace it with?
Here's the thing.
Here's the
is,
thing:
like,
is that slot's still going to be there.
Yeah, I
and so what are they going to put there? A fucking cartoon?
Yeah, the UFC.
The UFC, exactly.
I think that I think Trump is just such a reality TV show diva. Reality show diva that he wants to like meddle in all of this like television business,
Yeah.
And I just think it's just kind of pathetic that he's spending his time doing that when there are major issues major conflicts, major problems. Like, and I just, I feel like anytime he does some shit like this, it's just such a distraction because that is not presidential business. It never was, and it shouldn't be. So I just kind of try to like not give it any oxygen because we're, you know, I want, not like I have any influence, but I want us to focus on the worst things that are happening.
Yeah,
These made up controversies just seem just like distractions.
Yeah, I don't know if I would agree that they're made up controversies as much as
I totally agree with you. It's really bad for a president to be meddling in whatever free press, entertainment, whatever. It's weird that it's happening. But I think that it wouldn't be happening if he wasn't trying to distract from the bigger, worse stories.
Here's the thing about
he's
that.
trying to, every time you can tell these people always start with the culture war shit whenever there's an actual scandal that they don't want to deal with.
It's like Leo donating $15 million the minute that he's like in trouble with the media.
Exactly.
Like, Leo gives money to the environment. He did that for like years. He's probably went through $100 million of just like, oh shit, they're talking about me and young girls again. Here's my $15 million
exactly
to the environmental causes. I had a different thought. I guess I lost it. It must be because we're getting old.
Well, we had a really weird day.
Yeah, I had a big bad day with the car. It was whatever.
You and I were
Wagged
like,
the dog exactly right.
We had to spend like 4 hours outside in the heat today. And so I just feel like we're both a little pooped.
So I just want to say a big and a real big thanks to everybody, especially the folks on YouTube. The last 2 days, we've had a very strong, what they call the average view duration. And I just think that I just feel really grateful that people are sticking around as long as they are and hanging out with us. I kind of almost don't believe it.
I know,
but
it's fun.
I think you guys are crazy. But I just want to thank you so much because it's a huge boost to what we're doing. It's a massive boost. If people are sticking around for 2 or 3 minutes, it kind of makes us look bad. But people are sticking around for 10, 15 minutes, and that's in terms of an average, that's huge. And we, of course, it's Cosmic Urgency and Delicate and Guilty Angel and all, and Dr. Susan and on with all of our regulars who come in and sit with us for a couple hours a night. But a lot of people are coming by and sticking around for a lot longer, and it's really showing up. And I really think that it's about the community that these guys are building with us.
Yeah, I know. It's so great.
People come in here and, I don't know if you noticed, but we haven't been getting spammed.
Yeah,
I reported all of them for harassment. I reported every single account.
Oh, I wonder what, because I know that they have like a bunch of different accounts they just jumped to. So I wonder.
Every one of them, I just hit them all for harassment because I just assumed it was the same person. So I just said harassment, and then they can just go look at the logs, but they're gone.
Hope it stays that way. I'm really excited for you to reach whatever threshold you got to meet in order to have like a membership or something so that we can gift a bunch of memberships to everybody.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll figure out
500 followers. I'm going to give away 5 books too.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, 500. When we get 500 followers on YouTube, I'm giving away 5 books, but I'm not just going to give the books away to people on YouTube because that wouldn't be fair to the people on TikTok. So we're going to give 5 books away, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to spin around and point. And if I point at you, you're going to get a book. A signed book.
Everybody has to assemble in the same room.
I have not figured out how to give you guys books, but I'm going to. And as soon as I figure it out, but I have some time because we've been kind of slowly, incrementally growing in our subscriber base. But look, we haven't we're just learning our workflow. We haven't got the content out yet, so we're still kind of thriving on the live itself mostly. And that's not a way to build lives. So everything's going really great is what I'm trying to say. And we're doing that with really the help of all these really great friends of ours.
Thriving on the live.
And so I just have so much fun with you. And thank you so much for being with us again tonight. We're going to go and eat something cool because I'm feeling kind of warm today. Aren't you?
Yeah, I feel like
we're going to go watch the last 2 episodes of
Vice Principals
starring Danny McBride. It's a brilliant show. It's crazy. It's dark. It's nasty. There's not as much full frontal male nudity as there was in Gemstones. But that was called Gemstones.
Well, that was because he's really trying to make fun of American evangelism and how like homophobic and homoerotic it is simultaneously.
And it was called Gemstones. Get it? Gemstones?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this evening. I can't thank you enough. I really can't. I want to keep saying it for another hour, but I should instead just thank you, take my leave. You guys are wonderful. I will see you again tomorrow, I hope, and I'm sure there'll be lots to talk about. Hopefully, we can have a day without people dying. People we know about.
Unaliving?
Yeah, because we had
Passing away?
Malcolm.
Oh yeah, I know.
He died he died
so
yesterday.
We're gonna have to have like a long in memoriam episode at the end of the year.
I honestly thought about, we have to start compiling everything. I honestly thought for a second, I was like, wow, like Ozzy Osbourne outlived Malcolm by one day. That's a crazy thing. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one, but like I always go through this, like I went through this like as a kid. I was like, I picked out like who was going to die before me.
God, you're such a Scorpio.
And I say things like how much sadness I'll feel, like, oh my God, when Rob Halford dies, I'm going to be so sad. Like I said that like in 1985 when he was 40.
You're such like, you've like grew up in the underworld, bro. That's what that is.
And that's all happening. All the greats and the giants are going.
You used to go fishing in the what is the river Styx?
Celebrate Ozzy Osbourne's achievements in music, if nothing else. You don't have to like the guy. You don't have to like anything else. But he changed music and he changed the world. And I think for that, he deserves a listen. And if you want to listen to an album, if you haven't really gotten into Black Sabbath, listen to that first record. But here's the thing about
the self-titled Black Sabbath.
The self-titled Black Sabbath record. But here's the thing about Black Sabbath that I want people to understand. Ozzy Osbourne was the singer. He didn't write anything. He sang melody and he was a contributor to the songwriting, but it was really Bill Ward and Tony Iommi who made the sound called Black Sabbath. And Ozzy Osbourne obviously was icing on the cake in terms of that voice and that presence and, you know, just what he brought to the music. But what you get when you listen to Black Sabbath is you get Bill Ward, you get Tony Iommi, and you just get a really great rock band that changed the world. And so in that respect, we lost a great one today. And so, before you go to bed tonight, and even you, Delicate, after what is better after Lady Gaga than a little Black Sabbath? On the way home, do a little Black Sabbath. No, you're not going to do that. Tomorrow for Black Sabbath. I love you guys so much. You guys are wonderful. I'm going to turn everything off now. It's time for me to go. Good night, Angie.